What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video here on the World of Juice channel. Welcome back to the Chicago Bears Legends Fantasy Draft Series here on the channel. We are in the start of season number 8. That's right. 7 seasons down, we are already in season number 8. We've won 6 Super Bowl rings. We lost one to the Houston Texans a few years back, but we don't want to talk about that because that doesn't matter that much because we're moving on to season number 8. We are through the off season, through the preseason, and you guys saw the two videos that I uploaded, the off season of season number 7, and then the off camera trading during the preseason that I put on camera because I feel like you guys would enjoy seeing the moves that I make, seeing what goes through my mind while I am trying to make the team better, even better than what it already is because it's 99s across the board. But if you guys missed that episode, I'll go back over it and review the roster for you guys. So you don't, I mean, you can go over it and go back and watch it. It would mean a lot if you did, but it doesn't matter. So anyway, we start out with the quarterback position. Our 25-year-old, 5-year experience, 99 overall captain, Trevor Lawrence. 3-time Super Bowl champion, Trevor. I think 3-time, or maybe it's 4-time Super Bowl champion. Is it 3 or 4? It's 3 or 4. I don't remember. But then we got the main man, Peyton Manning, and we had to give him number 18. I forget who I took the number off of, but we had to give Peyton Manning 18. You can't have Peyton Manning on your team and not have a number 18. And then we got Tua's brother, Talia. I think I'm going to call him Talia Tagovailoa. So he is going to be our third string quarterback. We picked him up for very cheap. He's only on a $1.35 million deal. So that's our quarterback position. Running back position, we got the man himself, Bo Jackson, still on the team, rocking a 98 overall. Then we got Run CMC, Christian McCaffrey, out here, 30 years old, 98 overall, which is very impressive. And then we got Jonathan Taylor, touchdown, 26 years old, 87 overall. So that is our three-headed monster at running back. And then we got Ezekiel Elliott out here at fullback, 31 years old, 93 overall. I signed Ezekiel Elliott after I signed. Wait, what did I do? I signed Christian McCaffrey in the offseason. That's right. He's our big money free agent for this season. And then I traded for Ezekiel Elliott because I was like, you know what? YOLO. Why not trade for Ezekiel Elliott? Because he always does well against us on the Vikings, so might as well bring him to the squad. And then I was like, oh, I can't play all these running backs. So I thought, you know what? Why not play him at fullback? Because he'll get some touches at fullback. So he's going to be our 93 overall fullback for probably the remainder of this series. And then our wide receivers are staying the same. Randy Moss, 99 overall. Calvin Johnson, 99 overall. Steve Smith, 99 overall. Rondale Moore, 98 overall. And Julian Fleming, 89 overall. That is just outrageous, the amount of wide receiver talent that we have. And plus, I drafted these two guys. So Rondale Moore is a homegrown product at 98 overall. And Julian Fleming is right there behind him at 89 overall at 24 years old. So these three guys are legends, and I traded for Steve Smith. That was a hard trade to do. But these two guys are the original 1-2 punch, Calvin Johnson and Randy Moss. And then we got Rob Gronkowski out here, 27 years old, 99 overall, as our starting tight end. Then we got Travis Kelce backing him up at an 88 overall, 36 years old. And then the outlaw Jesse James is a 32 overall. Why do I always do that? 32 years old at a 78 overall. So those are our three tight ends. Jesse James, we got to keep him on the squad. We've had opportunities to move him and get a different tight end, but you know what? He's a team legend. We can't get rid of Jesse James. Was he there from the beginning? He was there from the early part of this series, and we can't just move on from him like that. We're not that kind of a coach. Matt Nagy is not that kind of a coach. And then we move to the offensive line, which is still a beastly offense line. Orlando Pace, 99 overall. Amari Kite is 82 overall. Left guard is John Hanna, 99 overall. Center, we moved on from Travis Frederick because he was like 35, 36 years old and he was starting to decline a lot. And he already said that he was thinking about retirement. So we got, in the offseason, we went and signed Clay Webb, 87 overall, 25 years old. So he's going to be our starting center for the remainder of this series, most likely, unless we see somebody that's like outrageous. And then we got our backup is Frederick Mauga, Mauigoa. I don't know how to say his name. I'm sorry. I don't mean to butcher it, but he's a 79 overall, 28 years old. He's been our backup for now the second season. He was Frederick's backup last season. Then we got Larry Allen at right guard, 99 overall. Isaiah Wilson, right tackle, 99 overall, which is just outrageous that we drafted a 99 or a left tackle. We drafted a, what is he? He's a right tackle. We drafted a right tackle that turns out to be a 99 overall. So let's just say our scouting and drafting abilities are top notch. And then we move on to the defense side of the ball. Left end, we got Myles Murphy, the beast, the man, the monster among men, Myles Murphy. Then we got YGM out here, 84 overall. Murphy not growing as much as I'd like. I mean, he does have superstar X Factor, which is a little bit disappointing. He might get there at some point, but he's only 94 at 24 years old. I would like to see that maybe up to like a 96 at 24 years old, but it is what it is. And we got Nick Bosa out here entering his 7th season. I think this is his 4th season. This is the start. This must be the start of his 4th season with us in Chicago. Then we got Jonathan Allen, 83 years old. What? I did that again. 83 overall at 31 years old. I hope he's not 83 years old. That's just outrageous. And then moving on to the defensive tackle position, DeMonte Capehart. We accepted his 5th-year option, I think. So next season we'll have him, I'm pretty sure. Even we won't have to sign him for a contract extension. He's 24 years old, 94 overall. Then we got Leonard Williams, 82 overall. Niles Pinkney is 82 overall. And Larry Ogunjobi, the legend, is still out here, 32 years old, 74 overall as our 4th string defensive tackle. He's probably not going to get very much game time whatsoever. Then we have a bit of a situation. We still have Khalil Mack. I thought Khalil Mack was going to retire after the last season. I've said it in a couple of videos during games. I've said that Khalil Mack was probably in his last season, but I was wrong because he decided to shock the system and come back to Chicago. So he's a 35-year-old, 86 overall left outside linebacker, and he is now backing up Owen Popo, who is going to get the start at left outside linebacker at 94 years old. We've pushed him to the side long enough. It's time for Owen to get his shot at the starting spot because Khalil Mack is 86 overall, starting to decline a little bit. He is still a beast. He's still an unstoppable force, as it says, his superstar X Factor. But he is 35 years old. He's starting to miss a step speed-wise. So Owen Popo will get the start, and he will be our left outside linebacker for the future. Khalil Mack will mentor him from now on. And then middle linebacker, as always, the captain himself, Ray Lewis, 99 overall. Rashaan Evans, somebody we picked up in the off-camera trading system, or little episode. He's 30 years old at 90 overall. DeGabriel Floyd still out here rocking the 86 overall, 25 years old. He keeps getting pushed down by other people that I bring in, even though I like him as a player. He's a good player. He's been very consistent for us over the 4 years he's been in the league. And I want to give him an opportunity, but it's just we got Ray Lewis out here, and now we have Evans out here. So it's just he just keeps getting knocked down, and I don't like knocking him down. I feel kind of bad that I keep doing it, but I mean you can't argue with a 99 overall and a 90 overall. Then we got Luke Kuechly out here basically just to get him a ring. And although did he get a ring last season? Was he on the team? I don't remember. Somebody go back and look and see if he was on the team last year. I can't remember. And he's 81 overall, 35 years old. He's basically just mentoring these guys along with Rashaan Evans, and Ray Lewis is 27. He's the oldest guy on the linebacking core, I'm pretty sure. Oh, no, he's tied with Khalil Mack for the oldest. And then we got right outside linebacker, we got LT. So we had LaDainian Tomlinson LT earlier in the series. I think we had him for, what do we have him for, 4 seasons we had LT? Or 5 seasons did we have LT? I don't know. I'm not good with years, okay? Don't make fun of me. But now we got Lawrence Taylor LT as our right outside linebacker. And I wanted this guy from the very start, but he was just so hard to trade for. You guys saw it in the offseason video and in the off-camera video. You guys saw how hard he was to get. It took me so long and so many resources that I had to trade away and get back just to get Lawrence Taylor. So now we have him, and we're going to keep him for the rest of the series. He is a 99 overall at 27 years old. Then we have his backup now, the former starter, Jalen Phillips, who I really do like. But I had the opportunity, I saw the opportunity to get LT, and I just could not pass that up. I've wanted him this entire series, and yes, Phillips has been a very serviceable linebacker for us. He's gotten some good sacks. He's made some big plays, some clutch performances in the seasons and in the playoffs, but you can't pass up on Lawrence Taylor when you have the opportunity to get him. So that's where my mindset is on that situation. He will be our backup. I still value Jalen Phillips. I'm still going to try and get him some playing time. He might be our sub linebacker just so he can get some playing time. But when you got a chance to get Lawrence Taylor, you don't pass that up. And then we got Ryan Shazier out here at 71 overall, 33 years old. Just because I am a huge fan of Ryan Shazier, he's one of my favorite Ohio State Buckeyes of all time. So just for that nostalgia factor and just for because I love him as a player and as a person, I want to put him on the team. So he's 33 years old, 71 overall. He's not going to get any playing time except for probably kick returns and punt returns. But that's he's going to be on the team. He's going to get another ring. And then our cornerback position, I remember I go back sometimes and watch that very first episode, that draft, which has like 2.4 thousand views or something, which is just outrageous. But anyway, I go back and watch that sometimes and see the state of the defense that I drafted in that initial episode. It's just god awful how bad that defense was. I don't know how we won the Super Bowl in the first season, but looking at the defense now, comparing it to the defense then, especially the corners, it's just unreal how good these corners are. Tyreek Stevenson, 93 overall, 25 years old. He is outrageous. He's terrific. 95 speed, 95 acceleration. This man is a beast. Then we have our big money free agent from last offseason. Not this past one, the one prior. 26-year-old, 93 overall, Alontae Taylor out of Tennessee. He has come up with some huge interceptions last season. He was a terrific player for us, a great signing. Then we have Jeff Okudah, 91 overall, 26 years old, out of Ohio State. He is going to be our third, probably our slot corner. Maybe not our slot corner. I don't know. I haven't decided on the depth chart yet. You guys will see that in this video. And then Fred Davis, 87 overall, who is turning out to be a very strong corner. I was very surprised to see how good he is, especially because he's quick. Look at that, 96 speed, 97 acceleration, 97 agility. This guy is an absolute demon, a speed demon. But the funny thing is, if you guys remember from the draft class he was in, I didn't even mean to draft him. He was an accidental pick. I clicked the wrong button and picked him instead of somebody that I actually did want. But now, looking back at it, I want Fred Davis. He's really good. 24 years old, 87 overall. He's only been in the league for now 4 seasons, so that's just crazy how good he's turned out to be. And then we have DeAndre Baker, 29 years old, 81 overall. Hasn't turned out to be the overall that I thought he was going to be. I thought he'd be in the 90s by now, but I guess he's just not growing the same way. He's still a very usable corner. He's going to be our 5th corner, I think. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 5. So he's going to be our 5th corner. He's going to be our last corner. And he's come up with some clutch plays over the years that we've had him here. And I mean, I think he's been on the team for 6 years now. 7 years now. I think he came in year 2. So for however long that is, you guys can do that for me. I don't really know. But moving on to the free safeties, we have Sean Taylor, Mr. 21 at 99 overall. Then we have Daxton Hill, 90 overall, 24 years old. So our free safeties have been good ever since we got Daxton Hill in that draft. We haven't had to look for a free safety at all. Moving on to strong safety, Troy Polamalu, 99 overall. Jamal Adams, 30 years old, 98 overall. An absolute monster when it comes to forcing fumbles. He did that so many times, so consistently last season that he was just the absolute GOAT of forcing fumbles. So we had to bring him back. We had to give him a good contract, and he's outrageous. Even at 30 years old, he's still doing big things. So hopefully he can keep that up this season. And we got Antoine Winfield Jr., 81 overall, 27 years old. Not where I'd like him to be overall wise compared to his age. I would like him to be like 87, maybe 88 at 27 years old. But I mean, he's not going to play much for us. He's mainly here because I like him as a person. I like him as a player because he's Antoine Winfield. His dad was one of my favorite players. So I mean, I had to pick him up. I think I got him in free agency. I can't remember. And then kicker is obviously Justin Tucker, 36 years old, 92 overall. He's starting to decline a little bit, but he's still a good kicker. He's still got, what has he got, 93 kick power, 96 kick accuracy. So he probably won't be able to hit those 55-yarders as consistently as he has in the past. But if we need a 50-yarder or a 45-yarder, then for sure we're going to be calling on Justin Tucker. And then punter doesn't matter because we never punt in this series. You know the rules. Jordan Dodson, he's just here to fill a roster spot, basically. 23 years old, 71 overall, out of Mississippi State. He has 90 kick power. Wow, I didn't know that. So he can kick field goals for us. He is 70 speed. That's fast for a punter. Holy crap. He might have to play some offense for us, maybe. No, I'm just kidding. He's not going to play any offense for us. And then our practice squad isn't anything to write home about. We have nobody of note on this squad. It's just a bunch of filler players, basically. And now the depth chart. Trevor Lawrence is going to get the start for us in this season, but I feel like I'm going to split the time between Lawrence and Manning just because I want to play as Peyton Manning. I've never played as Peyton Manning in this Legends roster, so I want to experience Peyton Manning firsthand. But we also have Trevor Lawrence out here who's a proven commodity. He has won Super Bowls. He's won the MVP award. You know what you're getting from Trevor Lawrence, and we know what we're getting from Peyton Manning, a very good quarterback, one of the best of all time. But I want to play with him. So I think what I'm going to do is play Lawrence in the first half. No matter what the score is, if we're blowing out a team or if we're up by a touchdown or if we're losing, I will put Peyton Manning in and I will play him for the second half of the game throughout the first part of the season through game 1 and game 8 or whatever the middle of the season game that we play is. And then by the end of the season, I will probably still be playing both of them at split time. I just want to play as both of them, basically. When you have 299 overall quarterbacks, you got to play with both of them. So that's probably what I'm going to do for the time being. You guys can let me know if you guys think that's a good idea, or if I should just play Trevor Lawrence, or if I should just play Peyton Manning. You guys can let me know down in the comment section below. But moving on to running back, we got Bo Jackson starting at running back. CMC will be our backup, Jonathan Taylor, and then Zeke. Zeke will be our starting fullback, which is just hilarious. And then our wide receiving core only has 5 guys on it, but that's more than enough. We don't need more than 5 receivers on this team. Tight end, Robin Gronkowski will start for us just like always. Orlando Pace will start at left tackle. John Hanna, left guard. Clay Webb at center, snapping the football. Larry Allen will be right guard, and Isaiah Wilson will be right tackle. This offense line hasn't changed much since we started this series, so it's basically the same guys. And then Myles Murphy will start at left end for the third season now in a row, with YGM backing him up. Nick Bosa will start at right end with Jonathan Allen backing him up. Then DeMonte Capehart will start at defensive tackle with Leonard Williams. Pinkney, that's going to be a hard name to say. And then Ogunjobi will be right behind them. Owen Popo, like we mentioned earlier, will be the starting left outside linebacker for this season with Khalil Mack backing him up and mentoring him. And then somebody I didn't mention, we got Michael Divinity Jr. I kind of looked over him because I was talking about how Khalil Mack didn't retire. But we got Michael Divinity Jr. in a trade, and I'm very high on Michael Divinity Jr. He's a good player in real life coming out of LSU this year. So I'm very hyped that we got him. And I'm glad he's on the team as our third string outside linebacker. Moving on to middle linebacker, Ray Lewis will start. Then Rashaan Evans, DeGabriel Floyd, and Luke Kuechly will back them up. Lawrence Taylor will start at right outside linebacker with Phillips And I'm going to put Shazier in here just in case he gets a little bit of playing time. I'd like to see him get out there and playing time. And then corner, we got Tyreek Stevenson, Alontae Taylor, Jeff Okudah, Fred Davis, and DeAndre Baker. Basically, they just going by overall. So just like the main roster looks like. Sean Taylor and Daxton Hill. No surprise there. Troy Polamalu and Jamal Adams with Winfield as the third string. Justin Tucker kicking. Dodson punting. And now kick returns will be obviously the same with Rondell Moore and Fred Davis as the two kick returners because they're both freaking fast. And then punt return, we have Rondell Moore and Fred Davis backing up Rondell. Kickoff specialist will be Justin Tucker. Long snapper will be John Hanna, like always. Third down running back will be CMC because he's a 98 overall third down running back. Power running back will be Bo Jackson. And then slot receiver will be Randy Moss, like always. Right, left end will probably be, oh my God, probably, I can't say it, will be Nick Bosa, okay? I don't know why I couldn't say that. But Nick Bosa will be our right, left end, and then moving on to right end will be Myles Murphy. Defensive tackle, DeMonte Capehart sounds good. Sub linebacker will obviously be Jamal Adams because he's forcing fumbles like crazy out here. Who did I say I wanted? Oh yeah, Jalen Phillips. I want to get him a little bit of playing time as well. So he's going to be our backup sub linebacker. Slot corner will be Jeff Okudah. And then practice squad. So that is the depth chart. Now we can get into the actual game. I know this is going to be a very long episode. You know what? I don't think I'm going to turn this into an episode because this is already getting pretty long. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to just go over all the other stuff. I'll call it like a pre week one, like an overview of the offseason, a review of the offseason, and just going over the start of the season. So since we're already like, what are we, 20 minutes into the video already or something? And it's getting a little bit out of hand, so I don't want to extend it with a long video and make this like over an hour. So we'll go over the schedule. We'll decide the games that I'm going to play. We're obviously going to play the Lions in week 1 on Thursday night. But then moving on down here to week 7, 8, and 9 is basically the window that we have. We play the Packers twice in that window. So the Buccaneers are obviously the only game that is an option for us because we're not going to play the Packers again. We play the Packers all the time, mostly because they're in our division. But over these 7 seasons now, we've played the Packers a lot. So I don't want to play the Packers again. So we'll play the Buccaneers in week 8. And then moving on to week 17 against New England. They have to come to Chicago. We don't have to go up to New England. They have to come to Soldier Field in week 17 in December. So they got to get some cold weather games in December. That's going to be a big one. I'm hyped for that because the Patriots are my favorite team in real life. So that is the schedule. Probably 3 victories, I would hope. And 3 monster victories, especially with the team that we've put together. But Lions will be first, then Buccaneers, and then Patriots to end the season. Then we'll play, obviously, all the playoff games like we always do. What do I want to check next? No, not that. I want to check stats because I want to look at some like career stats and stuff. Let's look at Trevor Lawrence's career stats. 16,000 passing yards for Trevor Lawrence over the 5 seasons he's been in the league. He's thrown 29 interceptions with 168 touchdowns. He's got 75% completion percentage over his career, which is fantastic. He's thrown a 91-yard pass as his longest pass of his career. I think that was to Randy Moss, but it could have been to Calvin Johnson. Bo Jackson has 1,600 rushing yards for his career. Ezekiel Elliott has 2,800. Randy Moss has 9,000 receiving yards. That is all us. Like this right here, these two guys, 533 catches, 578 catches, almost 10,000 receiving yards, and almost 8,000 receiving yards. So these two guys right here have been, these are all my stats. Like these are all stuff that I've thrown to them. So this isn't anything other than my stuff. He's got 106 touchdowns. That is outrageous. 76 for Calvin Johnson. I thought that'd be more for Calvin Johnson because it seems like in the red zone I always tend to throw to Calvin Johnson, but I guess I throw to Randy Moss a lot more. And then blocking is okay. Nobody cares about blocking really. Defense. How many interceptions total do we have? What's our best created guy interception? Troy Polamalu has 16, so he is first. He is the first legend on here with 16 interceptions. Then we have two spots underneath him, or a spot underneath him. Ray Lewis with 11, then Sean Taylor with 10. How many forced fumbles? Let's get the forced fumbles. See how many Jamal Adams has. Jamal Adams has 16 forced fumbles. Holy God. Then we have defensive touchdowns. That's a kind of a curious one. Khalil Mack with 2. Polamalu with 2, Luke Kuechly with 2, Adams with 1, Taylor with 1, Baker, and Alontae Taylor. I thought they'd have more than that. Kick returns. Holy crap. 3,700 kick return yards. That's outrageous. Only 1 touchdown, which is a little bit upsetting. But that is crazy that he's got 3,700 kick return yards. Jonathan Taylor touchdown with 2,800 kick return yards. Let's go back to kicker. I missed that. So the longest field goal of Justin Tucker's career is a 62-yarder. 88% over his career. He's 98% from extra points. He's only missed, what is that? He's only missed 13? Is that what that is? That seems to be all the stats. Is there any records that we can check out? Let's see. Career receiving touchdowns. Randy Moss has 106, and he's there. He is there. Randy Moss with 106 touchdowns, receiving touchdowns, is on the all-time list. His real-life version had 156, so the legend version has 106. He needs 50 touchdowns in his career to pass Randy Moss' real-life version. And over 7 seasons, he's gotten 106. So can he get 50 in his career? 50 more in his career. Catches, is he on here with catches? No, he's not even close to catches. Is there any game stats that we have? Maybe season stats. That'd be interesting. Season passing yard stats. No Bears on the list. Bears. Oh, here we go. We got some Bears on this. Season passing touchdowns. Matt Ryan, the very first year, had 52 passing touchdowns. That is crazy. Maybe that's why we won the Super Bowl in the first season. Who cares about defense when you have 52 passing touchdowns? And then Justin Herbert out here had 51 passing touchdowns the very next season. And then Justin Herbert the next season after that, 2021, had 51 as well. So Justin Herbert, 2 years back-to-back with 51 touchdowns. That's crazy. That's probably why he was a back-to-back MVP of the league. And then nobody else really out here. Patrick Mahomes with 50 in 2018. That's real-life stuff. Joe Montana had 20, or in 2022 had 51, which is kind of cool. Any rushing yards out here for real-life guys? Oh, MJD. Maurice Jones-Drew from the Austin Bats in 2023 had 2,131 rushing yards. That is unbelievable. Good for Maurice Jones-Drew. That's crazy. Jim Brown had 2,029 in 2021, and in 2020 he also had 1,987. So Jim Brown, very consistent rusher, but Maurice Jones-Drew out here with a 2,131 rushing yards. That's crazy. Rushing touchdowns. Anybody good? LaDainian Tomlinson, I forgot, I didn't even see that. He had 25 in 2019, the first season. Adrian Peterson also had 24 in that same season, so that's pretty good for both those guys. Receiving yards, we already went through this, I think. Oh, no, we didn't. We went through that for career. Anybody here had no, nobody's had over 1,000 in a season besides Terrell Owens in 2020 2023, 1883 for Terrell Owens that season. Receiving touchdowns, Stephon Diggs for the Jaguars in 2024 had 20 touchdowns. Holy crap. Randy Moss had 19 in 2023. 2021 was 18 for Hines Ward. 2025 had Isaac Bruce at 18 and Randy Moss at 18. So a lot of the receiving yards and receiving his statistics over the season are getting shifted to legends. Catches. Anybody with catches? No, nobody with catches. Defensive sacks. Jonathan. Wait, what is that? Is that John? Who is that? Taylor. I forget his name, but he had 24 sacks in 2025, and then 3 years prior, he had 23 sacks in 2022. Also in 2022, Ed Too Tall Jones had 22 sacks. And then in 2024, Richard Dent had 21 for the Bengals. That's crazy. How many sacks are happening right now? No interceptions, and then passing yards again. So crazy things. Matt Nagy is number one with a legacy score of 34,466 as his legacy score. He is blowing away every single person. He is the all-time. He passed Tom Brady. He is the all-time legacy leader in everything, which is unreal. He's won 6 Super Bowls, 7 NFC Championship awards, and 8 Coach of the Year awards. So Matt Nagy is a beast, and he is now the all-time leader in legacy points. Any notable names? Mean Joe Green has 25,000. Taylor has 23,000. Khalil Mack, another Chicago Bear, has 22,000. He's got 2 Super Bowl rings to his name. Howie Long with 19,000. John Randall, 18,000. J.J. Watt has 17,000. Still no Super Bowl rings for J.J. That kind of is upsetting a little bit. Oh, he retired too. He's in the Hall of Fame. Good for J.J. Watt. So we can't even get him back. So we can't get him a Super Bowl ring. He finishes his career with no Super Bowl rings, which is a little bit depressing. Von Miller also retired, but he retires with 1 Super Bowl. Tom Brady retires with 6 Super Bowls. Anybody else is retired that I didn't realize? No, nobody else up here. Reggie White has no Super Bowls, but he's got 17,000. Drew Brees is gone into the Hall of Fame with 16,000 and 1 Super Bowl. Aaron Donald retired. Like we mentioned, he was on our team. That's the Super Bowl that he's got. He finishes with a 15,000 score. Antonio Brown is retired. He doesn't finish with a Super Bowl, but he finishes with 14,000, almost 15,000 legacy score. Antonio Gates gets no Super Bowls. Terrell Suggs has a 1. That Ravens team back in the day. Travis Frederick finishes with 6 Super Bowls. He's on the Ravens now, but he hasn't retired yet, even though in the last season he mentioned that he was going to retire. So that's kind of upsetting that Madden and EA did that to me. They did me dirty like that, but that's okay. Anybody else good? Adrian Peterson is gone, and he has no Super Bowl rings. Ben Roethlisberger has 2. Jason Witten has 0. Fletcher Cox has 1 Super Bowl ring on that Eagles team. Fitzgerald is gone, has no Super Bowl rings. Vinatieri has 4. He's retired. Julio Jones is retired. He has 1. He was on that team, one of our Bears teams that got a Super Bowl ring. He finishes with an 11,142 legacy score. Aaron Rodgers has 1 Super Bowl, 10,000. He's retired. Any big names retired? Frank Gore finishes with... Oh, that's depressing. Frank Gore never got a Super Bowl ring, but he finishes in the Hall of Fame with a 10,000 score. Bobby Wagner has 1 on that Seahawks team. Trevor Lawrence has 4. There we go. We confirmed it. Trevor Lawrence has 4 Super Bowls and 5 NFC championships. He's got a 9,836 score right now, but that's going to grow. Todd Gurley on the Steelers, no Super Bowl rings. Anybody else retired? No, nobody else is looking like they're retiring. now we're getting to the younger guys. Not the younger guys, but you know what I mean. Like the guys that aren't ready to retire yet. A lot of these guys don't have any Super Bowl rings, which is a little bit upsetting. I feel like I need to get some of these older guys, like these guys that are ready to retire, the real life players that are ready to retire. I feel like I need to get them a ring. Like Todd Gurley, I want to get a ring. Zeke Elliott, I obviously want to get him a Super Bowl ring. He's on our team this year, so he's got a good chance of getting one. I wish I could have got. I should have known that Frank Gore didn't have one. I should have tried to get him. Um, Anybody else out here that's still playing that doesn't have a ring? No, all these guys look like they're retired right now. Antonio Gates, I wish I could have got him one. But everybody else, Justin Tucker has been on the team the entire season, the entire year. He's got 7 Super Bowls only because he was on that Ravens team that won one back in 2012. I think that's it. Everybody else is retired that I would like to get a Super Bowl ring. So that's basically an overview of the series so far. You can see that Justin Fields, everybody's up in shock and up in arms that we traded Justin Fields. But if it was real life, they would realize that we got Peyton Manning in return, so they'd understand that we traded Justin Fields. But he's on the Lions now, which is interesting because that's who we play in Week 1. So we will play Justin Fields in Week 1 in the next episode. So if you guys did enjoy, make sure to smash that like button, hit the notification bell, and the subscription button while you're down there. Hit all 3. It only takes a few seconds to do it, if that. And I really do appreciate it. And I'll see you guys in the next one. See ya!